Hi, welcome back. There are many 5-star DPSs in Honkai Star Rail, and each one has their own ups and downs and their best teams, with every character being unique. With almost every character being unique, each has their own best teams, and because most of the player base is F2P, I present to you the best F2P teams for each 5-star DPS in Honkai Star Rail. However, it's not so much fun to only have the least, so I'm also going to include a team for every character that has as many 5-star characters as possible for those whales, dolphins, and damn lucky F2Ps. I should mention that I'm not going to go into any of their kits, I've done that so many times. You can go watch my 5-star rating list video where I went into everyone's kits, and my 4-star rating list video where I went into every 4-star's kits. And in the case of Feixiao, the newest DPS, you can watch the Feixiao overview / pull video I made of her. Before we start, you should like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this in the future, and join the Express Train Discord server for a community filled with content like this. By the way, only 6.3% of you are subscribed, so you should do your part and click that button. Now, let's get on to it. So one rule I want to have for this video is that for a team to count as F2P, it must not have more than 2 limited 5-stars. Of course, in almost every single situation, using a limited 5-star over a standard 5-star or a 4-star, you're going to get a very large upgrade, except in a few specific scenarios. So it's largely dependent on who you have. The best sustain for any team will also always be either Aventurine or Fushuan, with Gallagher being the best 4-star. I'm always gonna put in sustain as the final slot because you don't usually need that much from that role. Now let's actually get onto it. Let's start with Acheron, one of the contenders for the title of the best DPS in the game. Acheron of course relies on Nihility characters to be in our team, so someone like Pela and Jiaoqiu would be perfect. Acheron's best F2P team is indeed with Pela and Jiaoqiu, and for those that don't have Jiaoqiu, then someone like Sparkle or Black Swan also works very well. For the completely broke boys and girls, an Acheron, Pela, and Gunaifan and a sustain unit will work decently, I guess. If you're still using that team comp, you should either pull Jiaoqiu or Sparkle, whichever one you think has more value for your account. For those that don't have Acheron's signature light cone, then you should absolutely get Jiaoqiu until you have another chance to get her light cone, because Jiaoqiu helps with getting her ultimate stacks, just like her light cone will. With this team, you can reliably clear any endgame mode as long as your builds are pretty good. Her best team for those with a little extra Irish DNA in their blood or a little extra polish in their wallet than Acheron, Jiaoqiu, Pela, and Aventurine is her best team at E0. Just like the F2P team, except we have a specified sustain here. However, everybody knows if you've got an E2 Acheron, then you will get much more out of Sparkle than you would out of Pela here. And even then, depending on how good your Sparkle build is, you may get more out of her than Pela even at E0. Kafka's best teams are very easy to get a hold of. In fact, she's so easy to build, she's the poster girl of my easiest meta teams to build video, which you should go watch. For poor little F2Ps, Kafka's best teams are Black Swan, Gunaifan, and Sampo. They're the best DoT appliers in the game. Luca is not mentioned here because he's single target, by the way. So, Kafka, Black Swan, Gunaifan, or Sampo, depending on enemy weaknesses, then a sustain unit, preferably Huohuo, is the best Kafka team. For those that don't have Black Swan, then Ruan Mei is also a great 5-star teammate. For those that have both and more, Kafka, Black Swan, Ruan Mei, and Huohuo is the best DoT team in the game. And for those that want to reserve Ruan Mei for a super break team, then replacing her with Jiaoqiu is your next best option. Next up is Jade, who is the best pure fiction 5-star unit currently in the game. She is very easy to build and very easy to make teams for. She works best with units like Himeko and Herda as applicators, then AoE harmony units like Asta, Yukong, Robin, and Ruan Mei. Her best completely F2P team that can still clear pure fiction with 40k points is Jade, Herda, Yukong, and a sustain unit. You can truly level up your Jade by replacing Yukong with Robin and having Huohuo or the soon-to-come Linksha as your sustain unit. I don't think there's much difference between Herda and Himeko, it largely depends on enemy weaknesses. Argenti is up next, and this big man's best team is very simple. I like to call it the Got Energy team. Huohuo and Tingyun are almost a must for him. You can have a debuffer for your final slot, or for those who are a little more financially gifted, you can of course use the GOAT Robin, or Sparkle if you want to reserve her for another team. Jingliu's best team in the future is going to look much different than it is now because of the rumored to soon come summon meta, which will definitely revive him, maybe. Probably not. But right now it looks something like Robin, Tingyun, and a sustain unit. Okay, let's get back to the exciting stuff. Feixiao, who's the newest hottest character in the game, who people really love, has many team options to choose from. Her most F2P team is Moza, March 7th, and Gallagher, and it gets more and more impossible to put together as you add 5-stars, like putting Aventurine instead of Gallagher, Topaz instead of Moza, and Robin instead of March 7th, for the current strongest team in the game, probably. It's the exact same thing with Dr. Ratio, by the way, it's no different at all. Boothill's best team is the classic Super Break team for both F2Ps and P2Ws alike, HMC, Ruan Mei, and Gallagher, but when Lingsha comes out she'll have a slight edge over Gallagher in Super Break teams, so you rich cuties can get her instead. But I wouldn't recommend her in Break teams over Gallagher for F2Ps, and it's the same thing for Firefly. However, Boothill isn't exactly built for Super Break as much as Firefly is, so you can actually build him slightly differently, with Robin, Bronya, or Tingyun, and a sustain unit for more specifically Boothill damage-focused teams. We're not going to talk about Yanqing. Seele's best teams are Mono Quantum teams currently, but Jingliu does them embarrassingly better. However, Mono Quantum teams are filled with 5 stars, so usually they're not very F2P. For those cope smoking F2Ps that really want to build Seele, you can build her with Tingyun, Sparkle, and any sustain unit, the best one you've got. But Fushuan, for those that have her, can help take more advantage out of Sparkle's trace that increases attack based on how many Quantum characters are on the team. Clara and Yunli's best teams are basically the same, with Robin being their best harmony, followed by Tingyun for their energy. Their best F2P sustain here is a lot more specific though, with Lynx being the best here since she can increase the chances for preservation and destruction characters to be attacked. But in the case of Clara, you might die more frequently because she can't heal herself, so if there's a skill issue here, you can use Gallagher or any 5-star sustains for more survivability. Huohuo also has a big place here because of her energy recharge. Blade's best team is a little more complicated. He's not that good right now, honestly, though Jade is a very useful support for him because she can increase the charges he consumes when he attacks. Jingliu also increases his charge stacks when she attacks since she consumes HP from her teammates. Lynx is also a great option for the same reason we mentioned earlier. All that accounted for, if you really want to level up your Blade, then for F2Ps, Blade, Jade, Tingyun, and Lynx is the best option, and P2Ws have access to Robin and 5-star sustains. Jingliu's best F2P teams is herself along with Tingyun and Sparkle, with Gallagher being the best 4-star sustain. Otherwise, for you who have 5-star sustains that you want to take advantage of, you can use Huohuo for more energy, or Aventurine and Fushuan for more crit value, or replace Tingyun with Ruan Mei or Robin. Dan Hongai's best team is himself along with Tingyun and Sparkle with any sustain, and actually you really use the same logic here as Jingliu to upgrade this man's team, just make sure you have Sparkle. Okay, that's it. I hopefully didn't miss any 5-star DPSs. If I did, you can flame me down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this in the future, and join the Expression and Discord server for a community filled with content like this. And I will see you next time.